Welcome back to the one viewer of my previous video to the Path to Exile Car Ramblings podcast. I'm JC, and today's topic, I'm going to be talking, everybody's talking currently about, what's that stupid thing called? War of the Spark. Everything's War of the Spark right now. War of the Spark. It's everywhere. It's all I'm hearing about. I'm over it. There's a few good cards, I think, for Commander. I think there's a lot. I don't think it's good for Commander, personally. Too many planeswalkers. Too many people are going to be building Super Friends, which means the life totals of everybody's going to be going up like crazy, because every time you swing with a creature, you have a choice of swinging at the player, or you have a choice of swinging at one of their planeswalkers, and the better choice is usually the planeswalker. So the 5 damage you could be dealing to a player is now going to be going towards a planeswalker, one of their 6 that's on the battlefield. Okay, I don't think that's great. Okay. But that's not the topic of today. Everybody's on that hype train. Why does it keep doing that? A second hype train everybody's on. Modern Horizons. What are they going to reprint? What are they going to print? They've announced so far 2 cards. Sarah. Yeah, the Planeswalker Sarah. And the... what's it called? Cabal Therapist. I don't see Cabal Therapist making much of a splash, nor do I see Sarah making that big of a splash in Commander. I mean, she's alright. She's okay. Not for the $50 price tag she currently is. I don't know where she's getting that. Maybe it's that she's just the only good card that's really been spoiled. But she's a 4 mana. I mean, Sarah Angel is 5 mana, and she's 4 mana, and she makes a Sarah Angel, and then can do something else. So she's a better Sarah Angel right now, in my opinion. But it's just another Planeswalker entering into our domain. Our life totals are already 40, and there's already 4 of us. So, but my topic for today, I'm finally getting into what the topic is 3 minutes into this video. And the topic today is going to be Commander 2019. Nobody's talking about Commander 2019. Probably because Commander... Can you even hear me? Hold on. I have that plugged in. I'm gonna restart. Okay, not gonna restart. I was just, for some reason, if I have something plugged... Oh, why do you do that? Stop it. Stop it. For some reason, if I have something plugged into the auxiliary port, I can't make phone calls with it. It's weird. But... yeah, Commander 2018, very lackluster. I mean, you buy one, you're losing money right now. That's not where you want to be with a Commander product. I mean, I bought Feline Ferocity just because it's all that Target had right at the tail end, and it shot up. It was, I mean, I bought it for, at Target, I think I paid $36. And, I mean, just the I can right now go and resell, I mean, the money cards for $45, $50. So it's worth it. I mean, that one was worth it. 2017 was great. I wish that there was a 5th deck in that. I don't like the 4-deck format personally, but it's not up to me. I'm just a guy on YouTube with 3 subscribers. One of which is my other account. But yeah, Commander 2019. I don't really know what they're going to do with it. they're going to probably restructure it. Commander right now, biggest format. Maybe not their biggest moneymaker. I know that they're focusing a ton on Magic Arena. Is that what it's called? Yeah, the online, their Hearthstone, if you will. But I hope that whoever is in charge gives us reprints. I want good reprints. There's so many Commander cards that need to be reprinted. I mean, from actual Commanders in the past to just basically the money cards of other Commander products. I would love that. I would love to do a throwback to older Commanders. Not necessarily the specific, like, not the Feline Ferocity deck, not the Breed Lethality deck. I wouldn't want the full decks themselves. That's called Commander Anthologies or whatever. I'd like, just, you know, give me the big cards that were a one-off. I mean, they were just redid True Name Nemesis, so that never really was much of a Commander card, in my opinion. It was an okay card for Commander, but it took off elsewhere. But with its reprint in Battle Bond, it definitely helped with its price, along with the deck that it was in. But what I mean is, I would like to see them reprint things like Blade of Selves. If you don't know what Blade of Selves is, I don't know the converted mana cost or the equip cost. I probably should have researched that, but this is my rambling video, and I get to do what I want, so shut up. The Blade of Selves essentially says, it just gives the creature, is it called Myriad? I think it's Myriad. I think that's the actual word they gave it. So whenever it attacks, equipped creature, whenever a equipped creature attacks, it creates a copy of the creature, also attacking each other opponent that you have. Which, it creates a lot of shenanigans you can do with that, like, you know, enter the battlefield effects are huge, or like if you have say a legendary creature that you want to have death triggers, you can create 3 of those and they'll literally immediately die, triggering their deaths. Or if you have things that say, like, whenever a creature enters the battlefield, and, like, I don't know, what's that one thing called? I really should have researched more of this before I turn on the camera, but hey, let's keep pushing forward, see where this goes. Something that, so say you have, what's that guy called? Disciple of the Vault. It's whenever oh, that's an artifact one, isn't it? There's one that's like, whenever a creature enters the battlefield, you gain 1 life. And so you attach it to that, and you swing. It creates 2 more copies. Both of those copies trigger off of each other. The one that you swing with triggers off of the other 2. So you're gaining a pretty good chunk of life. That's just, I mean, I'm not saying that's a good example. I'm just saying that as an example of the weird shenanigans that you can pull off with Blade of Selves. Right now, I think it's sitting at like $12. It's not an outrageous price, but for a card that's kind of situational, it's not really a staple. I'd like to see it reprinted just so that, you know, the average person can have one in their collection, just for if they want to do the situational stuff. But getting to staples, there is a commander that needs reprinting. Reprint the hell out of it, Wizards. Everybody should own one because it is one of the best commanders that they've ever created, and that's Atraxa. I don't want an Atraxa deck. I don't want a deck that's based solely around Atraxa. But I would like them to come out with like a Proliferate deck. With War of the Spark, they have a ton of Proliferate mechanics that, I mean, some of them may be a little OP for Commander, like a landfall. That's, yeah, a landfall Proliferate. That's for 3 mana. That's stupid. That's stupid. That's ridiculous. I mean, we already have Inexorable Tide, which Inexorable Tide I always want to do more with. But I can never, like, it's okay. It looks way better than it is. But there's a landfall version, which, I mean, lands don't cost mana, and if you're in that color, you definitely can be doing land drops no problem every turn. And then additionally, you can do things like crack a fetch land. I think that's how it works. I don't think it's if you play a land. I think it's if it just a land enters the battlefield, you proliferate, which is ridiculous. Yeah, I think Atraxa would be great as an include in the deck. Not necessarily the front runner of the deck, but currently she just jumped within the past week or two from about $20 to about $45 to $50, and that is insane. I don't want to pay $50 for. She's not even like face value. She's not even that good. She will literally just proliferate, and she has a few keywords. I don't know. I mean, she does allow you to run 4 colors, and they're great 4 colors. They're awesome. It's all but red, which is fantastic. For what you're wanting to do with proliferating, you don't need red. And she's a solid commander choice, and everybody should own one. But she's reached a point where not everyone can own one. I actually don't own one. That's probably why I'm complaining about it. I missed the boat. I actually went into my local card shop and they had one listed for $19, and I told them to mark it up because they missed it. Yes, I'm that guy. I'm all for LGS's prospering. I want them around as long as possible. But getting back to other cards I want reprinted. I mean, they just reprinted Phyrexian Altar. I want Phyrexian Altar in one of the products. That one is pretty self-explanatory. It's Phyrexian Altar. It's Ashnod's Altar, but for a single color of your choice, which is awesome. What else is there? Other things I'd like to see reprinted. Oh, yeah, the stupid Deep Glow Skate. Also out of the Breed Lethality deck, which is the Atraxa deck, if you didn't know. So, what it does, I believe it's 5 mana. It is a creature fish. It's blue. And when it comes into play, double all counters on any number of permanents you control. It's a single-use doubling season for everything in play, except I don't believe that it could double the counters on, what are they called? Planeswalkers. I don't think it works that way. Like, once a Planeswalker already has its counters, I don't think it can be doubled at that point. Although it can be proliferated. I don't know. I may be wrong on that. I think I'm wrong. Because if they can be proliferated, then they can definitely be doubled. Yeah, I don't see why they wouldn't. But yeah, it's been sitting at like $7 for the longest time. And I'm guessing with War of the Spark announcements that there's going to be a bajillion Planeswalkers. It somehow jumped from, Right now I actually don't know the price. I checked the price last week because I was wanting to buy one for my own personal, not planeswalker reasons, and it had jumped to $15, which again, the 12 to 15 isn't, it's not wallet breaking, but it's more than I would like to pay for a card. And the only reason that it is that much is because it's only been printed once and in one deck. The most sought after of those decks. I obviously, like everyone else, would like to see partners come back. We got some more partners in Battle Bond, but they were very specific. They had to go with certain other cards. I gotta get over. Somebody gonna let me over? Who's gonna let me over? You guys gonna let me over? Oh, that light just turned red. Okay, well. Oh, we will see if I can actually get over today. Oh, we're again. There we go. Yeah, there's a bunch of cards that have been printed only one time, and I'd love to see Wizards do more with them. Curse of Opulence would be great. It's been moving up in price. If you don't know what that is, it's I think it's just 1 red mana. Don't quote me on that. It might be 3 mana. One of them is 3, but it is whenever enchanted player. So it's a curse. It's an aura curse that attaches to a player. Whenever enchanted player is attacked by you or an opponent. So if you attack them, you get I think it's a gold token, which is, you sack it and it gives you 1 mana of any color, and then you get 1, and then your opponent gets 1 as well. So if you attack, you get 1. If your opponent attacks, they get 1 and you get 1. So it's been moving up in price. It's, I think, sitting at $5, which isn't crazy, but again, what else out there needs to be reprinted? I don't think they will reprint them, but the lands out of Battle Bond, I own a bunch of them. Oh, you can let me over? You can let me over? You're not gonna let me over. Okay, that's cool. That's cool. I'll move on up. This guy seems nice. You gonna be nice? You have a Dance Unlimited sticker on your back windshield. Uh-oh. You're getting into my lane? What? What's happening right here? You gonna be nice? Are you gonna be nice? Well, I'm just gonna move on over. There we go. I might get honked at. Oh well. There we go. Cool. Cool. I got into my spot. Anyways, that was stressful. Because if I don't get on the freeway, I have to go do a U-turn, and the traffic is insane. Oh, anyways. So, I think I can turn the GPS off now. And I was just sitting here talking to myself. So, apparently, if I touch my GPS while I'm videoing, it will turn the video off. It'll stop it. I sure hope that it saved the last 15 minutes of me talking. That'd be great. Probably didn't. But there's a ton that needs to be reprinted. Like I said, with cards that were specifically in Commander products. I briefly mentioned the partner commanders. Certain commanders that are partner specific have hugely jumped in price. One of which being Thrasios. Thrasios, he's a 2-mana commander. He's green and blue. He has, I believe his ability is for 4 colorless, or 4 generic, colorless. I think it's Scry 1. You may put that card into your hand or something like that. which is, it's a great mana dump. There's lots of things you can do with infinite mana with that, and just for it to be a 2-mana commander, that's pretty great. But yeah, I mean, just seeing him reprinted would be great. I don't know where else they could reprint him, just because he does have partner. They can't reprint him in like Modern Horizons or any of the master sets really, because they don't. He's super commander specific. I don't know that. So Wizards claims that they don't pay attention to secondary market, which is, you know, I don't know if you are aware of what secondary market is. It's basically if you want to go and sell a card to another person, or if a vendor is selling you a card, that's the secondary market. It's not you buying a product that is a Wizards sealed product and opening it. Or, well, yeah, that's yeah. Everything else would be secondary market, I believe. Yeah, so, but they say they don't pay attention to prices in the secondary market. We all know they do. They claim that it's like, oh no, we pay attention to what the popular meta decks are. So like Death Shadow is a very popular deck. We're gonna reprint Death Shadow. It has nothing to do with what I think it was sitting at like $22 when they decided to finally reprint it. Had nothing to do with that. Had nothing to do with maybe possibly trying to increase the value of your set that you're pushing on us at a higher pack price. I don't know. I think I'm just whining. But they say they don't pay attention to that. They should. They should just come out and say that they do. Oh my gosh, quit doing that. There we go. Because it's really disingenuous. We know you do. I'm acting like they're going to watch this. But we know that they pay attention to it. I don't know if it's for legal reasons they say that they don't. But the problem with 2018 Pro, oh my goodness, this is so annoying. Why is it doing this? Stop it. The issue with the 2018 product was that the value wasn't there. It had great cards. Great cards in it. They had, I mean, Lord Windgrace alone was, I mean, one of the most fun commanders. If you've never played around with Lord Windgrace, he is awesome. And I'm not even talking about your standard old build that has Gitrog and Omnath in it. I'm talking play around with just, you know, land destruction. Like, it's not very, like, a lot of people don't like land destruction, but it's fun. It's really fun. It's mean, but it's fun. Just look for other archetypes with him. You can go to EDA Trek. I know I talk about EDA Trek a ton, maybe probably too much, but yeah, it's really fun. But I mean, there's so many cards out of 2018 that are good and fun, but those aren't what sell the products. Those aren't what push people to want more out of the product. I know whining about value is kind of gross. It's gross to be like, why can't we then turn around and resell our cards for... That's one of the draws to this game, is that you can get out of it at any time. It's one of the only hobbies that I know of that you can enjoy it and at the end of it possibly make a profit, depending on what the format is, what cards you were interested in buying, what decks you were interested in buying, you know, with the fluctuation of the market constantly going up or down. If you buy it low and then you decide you're done with Magic, you can get out of Magic and have a good little chunk of change in your pocket. I love that. That's great. Same thing with the Commander products. Like, if you buy it and you're done with it, I'd like to be able to have it for trade fodder. And if the trade fodder isn't there, why do I want that product? I would just buy the singles at that point. Like, other people will open it, and I'll just... I mean, Lord Windgrace is what, $4? Out of that deck, there's only like 2 or 3... I think there's 4 good cards that you should buy. And then the rest is Commander staples, which, by the way, in the future I have been toying with this idea. I'm going to come up with Commander staples in each color that you can go onto TCG Player with a $5 bill in your pocket and purchase, and you will have staples that can go into whatever deck you're building. If you're building a 5-color deck, you could put all of those staples into that deck. I mean, you'd be at that point spending $25 because there's 5 colors, but there's staples that are super dirt cheap, or they're staple wannabes. But I mean, I want more people to play Commander. I want more people to enjoy Commander. I want to push this format further and further. Command Zone is doing a great job with that. Commander's Brew doing a great job with that. I want to be a podcast that pushes Commander even further. They have done excellent jobs of doing... I mean, Commander's Brew, I mean, guys, great job. Y'all have killed it for the longest time on budget brews. Those are killer. That Epic Experiment deck, I built it. I dominated my first game I played with it. It's a you play with it one time deck and you can't play with it a second time. It's awesome because everybody knows what's coming. But I want to push budget even further because I want to tell people there are cards that you go in every one of your decks. Every single one. If you don't own them, buy 4 Soul Rings right now. You'll spend $8 and you won't regret it. You won't regret buying 4 Soul Rings. Singleton format, that's 4 decks you're going to be buying, or you're going to be putting it into. And if you keep going with this format, you're gonna want to buy more and more cards to put into and build more and more decks. My problem is, you know, I own 1 doubling season and I have like 2 decks that want it. I know that there's ways people go around that, but this really went off topic. I'm totally okay with that. It's a rambling video. But so what I mean by staples are cards that are 25 cents, 10 cents, 50 cents, anything, I think 75 cents and lower. You add it to a cart, you throw it into TCG Player, and you're sitting at or below $5. And those are cards that will go into every, like, say, just take for instance, say green. You put them in the cart, they will go into every single one of your green decks. You will have no problem putting them in there either, because they're phenomenal. They work great. I'm not going to be one of those like, here's 10 $1 cards or $5 cards that you should buy now. I mean, we all know what those are. You know, if you don't know Eternal Witnesses, well, it sucks because it went back up. I think it's back up to $7. It's not, you don't need Eternal Witness. It's good. It's not that good. It's not $7 good. There's a lot of alternatives that I think are better, and I'll talk about those. So I think my next video that I make is going to be, I think I'll do white. Yeah, I think that's what I'll do. My next video is going to be white cards that can go into any white deck, and you'll be happy to have it there. and they'll all be under 75 cents. They'll be essentially staples for you. They're not necessarily staples for the format. I don't know. I don't know if we can we can manage that, because a lot of the staples have gone up because they are that staples, but they'll be staple lookalikes. But anyways, getting back to the topic on hand, or at hand. Things I'd also like to see in Commander 2019. They're really pushing Commander's planeswalkers down our throats. I don't want to see much in the way of planeswalkers. I've said it once, I've said it twice, I've said it 100 times. Planeswalkers make the format so slow. I don't like playing 6-hour games. The longest game I've ever had was 3 hours long, which was, I don't think anybody actually had a commander. It was just everybody was running crazy amounts of board wipes. But with commanders, or planeswalkers as your commander, you immediately have as much life as you end up casting them for. Wait, why do you want me to get off here? Exit. Okay. Okay, I'll do what you say, GPS. You know best. So, I don't want to see any more commanders that are planeswalkers. I'm done with it. They've done it for 2 years. I'm good. I never need to see it again. People say that they want planeswalkers to be opened up as commanders. Oh, no, that is such a bad idea. I mean, even now they print some questionable legendary creatures, and I'm like, I don't know that I want that to. I don't know if I want to play in that game. Like, if I ever see that come across, I think I'd be like, all right, I'm gonna move to a different playgroup. So, but then there's some that they just announced Feather. Like, if you don't know in the lore, she's like, at one time was in charge of the Boros Guild, but she didn't really have what it took, and yeah, she's pretty awesome. But as a card, she is ridiculous. Commander 2019, I really hope you're good. Things I also want to see with Commander 2019, archetypes that we have not seen. We've seen the artifact archetype year after year. They have some sort of, except for 2015. I don't think 2015 had one, but 2014 had had a red artifact deck. 2016 had the Brea one. Brea? I think it's Brea. And then 2017, did they have one? I may be wrong. 2017 may not have had one. Let's see. Dragons, cats. Cats kind of had some. But that was more equipment than it was artifacts. Vampires, wizards. No! Okay. I'm wrong. 2017 didn't have one either. But then 2018, it definitely had one with the Saheeli deck. I'd like to see them go a different path. I like artifacts as much as the next person, but it's getting a little lazy. Why did it take me this way? What in the world? What am I doing? Oh, goodness. Oh, it wants me over here. Oh, wow. Wow. Okay. Alright. Alright. Weird. Why did it have me get off there? GPS. You okay? You doing okay? Anyways. So they've done, let's see. They did stuff with quest counters. It's pretty original. I didn't play much Commander prior to 2014. So I don't really know the 2013 and the original commander decks. So I can't really say that, you know, I'm not going to try and come up with archetypes off the top of my head that they haven't done, just because there's 10 decks out there floating that I've never even looked at. But, you know, they did the quest counter things, which they had, you know, each quest counter had a different genre that hasn't really, I mean, they had the +1/+1 counters, which is, it's pretty prevalent, it's pretty famous, but they haven't had, they were all kind of archetypes that weren't as popular. Like, take for instance the Mizzix deck, where the quest counters would reduce the cost of all your spells. Reducing the cost of your spells, it's a thing in Magic, but it was never like a thing. Like, it wasn't an archetype by itself, and that brought that archetype to the forefront. That is originality. Finding an archetype that doesn't really have a home, it doesn't really have a way of existing past, I'm gonna scoot in right here, I think, maybe. You gonna let me? Yeah, you are. It doesn't really have archetypes that are, or commanders that are fueling it. Like, you know, Mizzix did that. Or, I don't remember the Orzhov one, which is, it's like, whenever an enchantment enters the battlefield, you create a enchantment creature token or something. I don't remember what, equal to the number of quest counters you have. Which that, I mean, creating tokens for enchantments coming into the battlefield, you never see that. I mean, you always get draw a card, you know, with enchantresses and things of that sort, but you never really get creature tokens off of it. It's not really originality. It's really taking two subgenres or two, not genres, but archetypes, and mashing them together. But I like it. I like it a lot. That's great. What was the other one? I'm missing one. Oh my gosh. I mean, talking about originality, and what's that stupid, the green-black one? What is her name? Oh, you know, only one of the most famous commanders of all time, and I can't come up with her name. Basically, she reanimates. Reanimate's been done. There's been tons of, I mean, 2017 was all about the tribal synergies, but with it, we got a lot of stuff that was universal. Like, you had Herald's Horn, which is fantastic. That's something that I'd like to see reprinted, because it's only been printed, I think it was only in 2 of the decks from 2017. So, yeah, I think it was, I know it was in Feline Ferocity, because I own one, and that's the only 2017 deck I bought. I don't know if it was in the Dragon one. It may have been in the Vampire one. I don't think it was in the Wizard one. I don't think. Could be wrong. But it's up to 15 to 20 bucks now, which is pricey. The secondary market for sealed product does exist as well. The older commander decks, those are hot commodities. I'm gonna probably gonna piss off some investor-y types. I don't think they should be. I think they should be reprinted to hell, like the individual cards inside of them. I don't think Feline Ferocity, it's up to 120 bucks is what its value is, but that includes like $1, 50 cent cards. But it's, I mean, reprint all the cards in it like crazy. I would love to see a Commander version of Modern Horizons. Although, no, I wouldn't. No, I wouldn't, because they would not reprint any cards that are currently legal. It would just be nothing but all new cards, and that's called Commander 2018. But I would love to see a reprint set of just Commander cards. I mean, I'd also love to see cards that are just great in Commander that are underplayed. For example, Miri's Guile. It's 1 mana, and it does the same effect that a top does. So you, at the beginning of your upkeep, you look at the top 3 cards of your library, put them back in any order. It's 1 green mana, and it's an enchantment. So it just sits there. Nobody's going to target it, and if they do, they're wasting their card. Because, I mean, the value for you is immense. The loss for them to lose a card to take it out is even bigger. So it's just going to sit there. It's just going to chill. So it's not as good as top, but it also is as good as top because it doesn't cost any mana to look at the top 3, and it's only during your upkeep, so it's before you draw. So what you can do is you look at the top 3, you don't see what you want, and you crack a fetch. Don't even get me started on fetch lands. Proxy them. That's all I'm gonna say. Just proxy the hell out of fetch lands. I'm paying $100 for the blue-red one. I can't even think of the names of them right now. What's that stupid thing called? Scalding Tarn. That's dumb. Just proxy them. And if you don't like proxies, well, you don't like fun. The game is about playing the game, and because I didn't pay somebody else $100 doesn't mean I shouldn't be able to use a card. You know, like, I feel like people who don't like proxies, I don't know, it's gross. And I don't mean proxies in like you take some common card and just write it, and you do something to make it a proxy. You make it, you know, whether you take a foil card and you rub off all of the stuff on the front, the art, and then you know, do your best rendition of the card with a Sharpie. That's fun. That's awesome. But not, you know, you just cross out the name of a Goblin War Scout. I don't even know if that's a card, but Goblin War Scout, and you write Scalding Tarn on it. That's lame. Don't do that. Be a little creative with your proxies, or just go online and buy proxies. Do notify whoever you're playing with that you are using proxies. If they have a problem with it, well, they're douchebags, and unless they're like, can you make... If you're cheating and he hates you, you need a win more than, I don't know. You need that win in your life. But, man, I am all over the place today. Jeez, I am all over the place. Well, I'm sitting in traffic. That probably has something to do with it. Keeps me from yelling at people. I don't have road rage. I really don't. I'm actually pretty nice. I leave a big space ahead of me so that anybody who needs to get in at the last minute can. I'm that guy. Whoa. Are you gonna fix? You gonna fix? Whoa. You're not adjusting. You're gonna just make me look blurry. You're gonna make me look, there we go. Okay. So, but yeah, other podcasts that I watch about Commander or listen to about Commander, I've mentioned Command Zone. They're great. I don't agree with a lot of the stuff they say. They get a little too maybe pricey with their stuff. They get a little too competitive. I'm all about the fun. I'm all about janky combos, convoluted tricks, and ways of getting to that point. That's where the fun is in the game. Like, I'm not into, I can kill you, so I will. I mentioned something like that in one of my last videos. I'm into, like, I'm into 5-card combos. It's going to take me, 10, 15 turns to try and find those cards, but I'm going to find them, and it's going to be amazing. And you're going to love my deck because of it. I'm into that. That's why I play the game. I play it because, doing giant, stupid spells that you can't do in any other format. So when people are like, well, you always got to play Mana Crypt. You mean that $200 card? Why? It's going to give you 2 more mana? That's very competitive. I played competitive EDH, and it was not fun. I mean, the LGS next to my house, that's all they played for the longest time. And they had a prize pool and all this other stuff. And it just got to the point where the same 2 people would win every week. And people just stopped showing. It's not fun. It's really not. One guy had a Zur deck, one had a I mean, I'd go with a Narset deck. It wasn't 100% tuned Narset deck, but it would hold its own, and it just got boring. Like, I don't want to play Narset every week, and just because it's what I can afford and what I can throw together. I mean, they were doing Lion's Eye combos, and I don't know, it just wasn't fun. I don't like when people start pushing too high a power level, and so that's a little bit of what Command Zone does. Whenever they do deck techs, they'll start throwing some of the lower CMC, higher power cards around, and I'm about, I'm going to try and help the everyman. I'm going to try and with the next video I make where it's staples, like, I'm going to try and help out somebody who's just starting, go in, and they want to build a, I don't know, Audric Lunarch Marshall deck. They can buy 5 cards, or not even 5 cards, probably more, because I'm aiming for under 75 cents. They can buy a bunch of cards, and they will be fantastic in their deck. Or they're trying to build, what's that lady's called? The one out of Guild, just any blue-white deck, and the staple cards that I'm telling them about will work for the most part. I'm going to try and make them super, super broad. I mean, you're going to have board wipes, you're going to have, I'm going to aim for some land ramp. I don't know if that's possible, but we're going to try. I'm going to see what I can find. But, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and conclude this video. It was all over the place. I mean, my main takeaway is I really want Commander 2019 to be good. Things I want to be in it. It's not really original for them to reprint stuff, but at the same time, if you come up with archetypes that are original, it's original. Like, I don't know. Just no more Planeswalker commanders. No more. I'm done with those. So, alright guys. Thanks for watching. Hit subscribe, like the video, comment on what you'd like to see in the future, if anybody actually watches this. If not, I get it. Anyways, you guys take it easy, and I will talk to you next time.